Hello everybody and good evening. Welcome to tonight's training on this lovely sunny day, which has been the 27th of August 2017. So I hope you're all well, and what we're going to do is just go through a bit of the recognition, and then I'll be doing my training this evening with you all. So let's have a look at the recognition. Obviously, we've tried to capture everybody in there with everyone's recognition, but if there's anything that's been missed, please pop it in the chat and I can try and go back and have a look and give those people a mention if there's anyone that's been missed out. So, weekly online nation training is tonight. So we have got 3 car presentations coming up on Sunday this week. So we have got the gorgeous Laura Leggett, who is going to be having hers in the Leicester region. Then we've got the gorgeous, where is the name?
The lady in the middle.
The lady in the middle that's shining like a beautiful star in the middle. Hers is in Harrogate. So for those of you more up north, that's perfect. Then we've got one in Edinburgh, and that's Tara Inchbowls, yes. So these are all this Sunday, so make sure you can hopefully try and get to one of those. And then we've got the DM bonus in August, Come to the Nation meal. So if you DM bonus in August, you have the ability to come to the Nation meal before the Nation training. And that's on Monday the 4th of September at 5 o'clock in Bourne in Lincolnshire. And there on the other side is the dates of the ones after that. Let's have a look. So AAC, we've got the amazing AAC. If those of you have not booked AAC, get it booked. It's an absolute must. I'm like about ready to pop soon, and I will not be missing it for the world. It's an absolute must. It's fantastic, but tickets do close on Tuesday, so be really, really mindful of that and make sure you get your ticket bought by this Tuesday. Then we have congratulations to Catherine Wilkinson on the birth of her beautiful, beautiful baby boy, Frederick George John Wilkinson. Absolutely scrumptious laying there, and he was born on the 20th of August, and he was weighing a beautiful 7 pounds and 5 ounces. So congratulations to her. So newly married today, we have Abby and Danny Bingham. Beautiful pictures there, looking absolutely radiant and stunning. So we wish you all the best and every happiness. Newly married yesterday, we have Miranda Hauler. Is that right? Yep. And she was previously Gray. So congratulations, huge, huge congratulations to you as well. So congratulations to the gorgeous RVP Danny Wells, who is sneakily sat next to me, and area manager Caroline Stalker. Big huge shout out for you guys for achieving the AAC top 10 incentive. Fantastic. So new DMQs. So we have Gabby Scott, who was sponsored by EAM Carol Sutton Houghton. We've got the gorgeous DMQ Zoe Wilkinson, sponsored by AM Alison Hutchinson. We've got the DMQ Liz Blog, sponsored by DM Pat Musson. So congratulations. So the new business builders that we have joining our R1 family, so welcome, are DMQ Zoe Wilkinson, sponsored by AM Alison Hutchinson. IC Melissa Morton, sponsored by EDM Sarah Jane Newman. We've got IC Jennifer Wills, sponsored by DMQ Karen Dolby. And IC Jade Murray, sponsored by RVP Danny Wells. So welcome. IC bonus part 1. So congratulations to you guys for achieving that. That's fantastic. Is independent consultant. And now I do apologise if I get this wrong. This is my interpretation of it, but please don't take offence to it. And I do apologise if it is wrong. Agnieszka Rybicik. Sorry if it's not right, but sponsored by EAM Carol Sutton Houghton. DMQ Andrew Taylor, sponsored by AM Caroline Stalker. I see Abby Bingham, sponsored by DMQ Catherine Wilkinson. I see Christy I can't even see that, my eyes are blurry. Cantanio, sorry, sponsored by AM Jennifer Cowie. I see Lindsay Watton, sponsored by RVP Danny Wells, and I see Audrey Whitaker, sponsored by DMQ Chloe Whitaker. So well done. DM bonus. The amazing RVP Danny Wells, sponsored by EDM Emma Dickinson, and AM Caroline Stalker, sponsored by EAM Carol Sutton Houghton. Fantastic, well done guys. So the DM bonus booster, we have the DM Eleanor Charlie, sponsored by EDM Sarah Jane Newman. Fantastic, well done. And that is the end of recognition. So if anybody of you needs to pop any other people on, just pop it on. But while we're just going over that, if any of you was on the 8 o'clock training with Danny, she wants to see, if you are going to do this online party, make sure we have some photographic evidence, because if you have photographic evidence and you message Danny with that, she will also be offering a little gift as well. So make sure we have that evidence to see. Yeah, regardless of whatever team you're in as well, totally doesn't matter, doesn't have to be direct to Danny or anything, just whatever, just send those pictures in and you'll get that. Also, I just want to say an amazing thank you for your support, everybody, with the Nation Party, for gorgeous Fiona McCarthy. Fiona, did you want to unmute yourself and just say anything, or a thank you or anything to everyone? She's on, is she on? Yeah. Don't know if she's available, perhaps not. But it was fantastic, and I know she was very grateful to all anyway. So perhaps leave it at that. She's perhaps busy. Okay, so I think that's everything. I've not missed anybody. No, okay. So tonight's training then is hosted by myself. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Natalie Crawford and I'm an area manager with Arbonne. And my training tonight, I've been a bit out of the limelight really with Arbonne. I've had a lot on, which we'll go through in a second. But I decided that my trainings really, for me, have to come from the heart, and I can only discuss things that really mean something to me, and I feel that I would benefit other people by discussing. So relating to what's been going on currently in my situation, my training is about, the title of it is When Life Throws You a Curveball. So that's what I've decided to talk about. And basically, I started Arbonne, I've been doing it over a year now. Absolutely hook, line, sinker, fell in love, knew that I was doing the right thing, and was full in. I was a runner, wanted to run with this business. Since I've started, it's not quite been like that. It's been ups and downs. You know, everyone expects sometimes things to just go smoothly and get to where you want to be, but sometimes it just doesn't happen like that, and it's not for me. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. So area manager at Christmas, which was amazing, and that was an amazing achievement because I'd just been through a bit of a tough time, losing someone very close to me, and it was fantastic for me to get to that point. So from that, I earned my trip to Arizona, which when it comes about and the incentives on that, get that done, because that was incredible. But just before I left, I actually found out that I was pregnant with my 4th baby, which was a complete and utter surprise. Did not expect it whatsoever. However, very blessed and humbled by the fact that it's happened, and just overjoyed. So when I found out I was pregnant, after dealing with the shock, I had very clear visions and clear goals of where I wanted to be before the baby came. And my vision was to be a regional vice president before this baby came. The baby's due on the 1st of November. However, I don't normally go full term, so we're sort of expecting any time from the end of September. But my goal, right from the off, I was like, this is not going to affect me whatsoever. You know, I'm just going to keep running with everything, and I will be a region by the time the baby comes. I have to be. That's what I said to myself, and they were my goals. And from that point, I was faced with so many challenges. Although I love being pregnant, pregnancy doesn't love me. and there's just no other way to put that. I have really, really bad sickness. My blood pressure is extremely, extremely low, which is low anyway, but it seems to drop in pregnancy. So I always seem to just pass out sporadically, and I was faced with that very early on. And extreme exhaustion, whether that be just because I've got more children than I did have the year before, like 4 years before when I had my other daughter. It was a massive impact to me, and it stopped me physically in my tracks. So other than that, that was massive anyway. But we had also bought our dream home this year. We moved in June, which was fantastic, because when I set out on 2017, that was one of my goals. Like, we were to buy our dream home this year. I was not prepared to stay where we were living, and it was a goal. And the fact that I'd accomplished that was just incredible, absolutely incredible. So I was happy, I was elated. But whilst buying that dream home, obviously you have your date when you're going to move in, and you've got, again, everything planned out, how it's going to work. And you know, my husband works offshore, and I was like, no, you're going to be home, we'll move in this period of time when you're home. It didn't go like that at all. I was living hell, absolutely living in hell. I was living out of boxes for about a month because I'd packed, because we had our date. It didn't go to plan, so I was just living amongst boxes, and it was driving me crazy. So therefore, my Arbonne plan of being this regional vice president before the baby was due was slowly starting to move further and further away from me. And that was really, really tough, because I could see that happening, and I was like, what am I going to do? Like, what am I physically going to do? And with that, and being emotionally tired and drained, and the stress of the pregnancy and my illnesses that were coming up, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I could just see it disappearing further and further away, and it was really, really difficult. So with that, and dealing with day-to-day schooling and children's routine, and their schedule that they have after school, and getting them to clubs, and that's really, really tough. But I also had, and I think we all at some stage have this person, whether it be a family member, whether it be a partner, a friend, somebody that just wants to butt in and get their oar in. I've had somebody very, very unexpected to me that was massively draining, and a constant pull on my happy, normal, bubbly self. And this has sort of worn me down. It's sort of like attacked me and worn me down gradually. And I was sort of unknown to it until just recently. So it was kind of like a silent manipulation. And it spiraled me to be really, really feeling really insecure, very unconfident, and quite like an anxious person. Now, for those of you that do know me, that is completely and utterly not me at all. And that change for me was a huge, huge thing. And I had to really, I felt like I completely lost myself, and dealing with that and everything that was going on with the pregnancy and the house, it was just far too much. So I sort of just shut myself away. And you know, I used to do live videos every day religiously in the morning. I couldn't even do those. I physically had no confidence to push that button and do a live video. It destroyed me that much. And that was really, really tough, because this person who I'd become was not me, and it was completely out of my comfort zone, and I certainly did not plan for any of this to happen. So we all have our expectations in life, and we all have a vision of how it's going to look, and some people are very particular, and they manifest how everything was going to go, as I did, which is great when it all comes to fruition and it all happens perfect and it happens just like that. But sometimes it really doesn't. But what happens when it does? We're left feeling like a failure, we're angry, we're in a really, really low mood, we're very negative, and everything that happens is a very negative feeling that we expel onto others. We're in a place of blame as well. We're looking for somebody to blame, because this isn't how it was meant to be. So we're constantly, you know, looking for that person to put that blame on. And also the lack of belief that comes with that in yourself, and the original goals that you've set that are not being achieved. You know, you're now feeling like, I can't do it, it's not going to happen, you know, I'm never going to be able to do it. And that's what happens when things don't go to fruition. But what you have to focus on is that when life does throw you this curveball, and this is inevitable, by the way, this isn't something that, you know, has happened to me, but don't worry, it's never going to happen to you. At some point in your life, or, you know, in your Arbonne journey, this is going to crop up. So this is why I was so adamant that this was my training tonight, because I want to help you prepare for this. If it's not happened to you already, great, I hope it never does. But at some point, in some way, maybe in a different way to me, it will happen to you. And I want you to be completely honestly prepared on how to deal with it. So, so from my experience, I've devised like a bit of a top 10 tip on how to bounce back and deal with it as best as you can when life does throw that curveball. So number 1, get your pen and paper, because I'm going to be telling you all these top tips, and I want you to make notes of this so you can refer back to it at any point. Number 1, do not over generalize. So what I mean by that is, just because life hasn't gone to plan and your goals have been planned out, and you know, you're in that moment and life just hasn't happened the way you wanted it to, and you've been knocked, the wind's been knocked out your sail, it doesn't mean that your life's over. At the end of the day, you will never achieve your goals. You will never achieve your goals, or that. Sorry, I've made notes, but it's not making any sense to me. I'm just trying to work out what I'm trying to say. So don't overgeneralize. Just because your life hasn't gone to plan, and your goals haven't been planned out, and your goals haven't been planned out, gone according to plan, doesn't mean that your life's over, basically. So just don't overgeneralize on everything. You will never achieve your goals, or that, oh gosh, what have I wrote? What? You'll never achieve your goals, or that you're now doomed to fail and struggle from them from that point on. Right, okay. Don't overgeneralize. We'll scrap that, because I'm really not making any sense.
I think it means if something happens, don't say to yourself, oh my god, I'm never going to achieve my goals.
That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry. Gosh. Right.
This is another curveball.
Yeah, this is a proper curveball. See, it happens all the time. It's just live. So, number 2, get some perspective. So don't think that whatever's happened is the worst thing that has ever happened to you. The truth is, you can't see the future, and you don't know that what's happened wasn't meant to happen for a reason. Just because it didn't go how you wanted it to, don't be getting too wrapped up in that. If it had have gone how you wanted it to, would you appreciate what you actually had? And would you have felt that sense of achievement because you've achieved it? If you expect something, and you know, you expect that it's going to go that way, and you're not really giving it any thought, you know, are you going to feel that sense of achievement, like, wow, look what I've achieved, if you're just constantly expecting it? What looks like a huge loss could be actually a huge blessing in disguise. You just maybe don't know it at that point. So number 3, practice acceptance. So when you struggle in the moment, and you're actually struggling, you are actually struggling against the whole entire universe. So it's just not smart. It's really not smart. You have to accept things for how they are. Your journey is planned out for you, whether you understand that or not, it is. So you've just got to trust what is happening. It's happening for the right reasons, and there is a great explanation that you just don't realise yet why the things that you planned out are not happening at that current moment in time. So number 4, decrease your ego's involvement. And what I mean by that is, the chances are you will have been fed that curveball, and you are going to be feeling like it was unfair, you've been treated unjustly, However, it's really, really crucial that you don't start thinking things like, how dare this happen to me? Don't they realise who I am type attitude. It's just not good. This kind of thinking actually consumes so much energy and it will not help you out. And so don't let your ego get in the way, because if you do that, it's going to consume too much energy and you're not going to be able to take your focus from moving where you are to a better place. You know, at the end of the day, don't take this as a personal experience and think of it in a personal way. It's not just you that this is happening to. It happens to everybody because it's life. And you'll free up your energy to then be able to create a better circumstance for yourself in order to move forward. And that's really, really key. So number 5, something that I once upon a time would have thought and looked at and thought, you're absolute crackers. I do this a lot now, and it's meditate. So when you're feeling stressed and you're fearful and you're angry and anxious and, you know, at everything that's happened after a curveball, your brain rhythm increases and your brain activity rises. And what happens then is you become more stressed, and the more rapidly then your brain waves vibrate. So you're very anxious, your head's spinning, you don't really know left from right. And what happens then, if you meditate, it slows down your brain rhythm and you will allow yourself to get in a very relaxed state. When you get into a very relaxed state, peace of mind, it allows you to see alternative ways. And you also are then able to create opportunities and have more effective creative solutions and answers to the situation that you're in. So turn on your music, have a nice hot bath, light some candles, get yourself in that really relaxed place that you love to be. You just want to chill out, or just, you know, you don't have to be, you know, a lot of people think cross legs and you know, that works for some people, but that's not always how I meditate. It's just being in that peaceful state of mind and just breathe. Really, really breathe right from your toes, and just feel that breath right through your lungs, and just get a bit of clarity in your head where you're in a zone where like nobody's there. Even if there was people in the house, you can't even hear them because you're just in your own head. And it's really, really key. Number 6, ask the right questions. Are you asking yourself the right questions? And by asking yourself questions like, why did this happen to me? Why did they do that? Why didn't I achieve my goal? What's going on? You are keeping yourself stuck in the past, and you're constantly replaying the negative scene over and over and over in your head. Now that's not good either, and you need to get out of that and think of how you're talking to yourself. You know, why don't you start saying things like, right, okay, what do I need to do to get through this? You know, what can I do to help get me to where I want to be? You know, focus on this. What's going on? What's going to be the best solution? And this is the key one. What can I learn from this? So I believe, personally, hand on heart, everything that happens for a reason. And not only that, everything that happens is a lesson. And everything that happens to me, I have no regrets. And that's something I massively, strongly believe in. I might have a bit of a moment, but I never, ever, ever regret the things that I've done, because they've happened for a reason to teach me a lesson. Whether that's a lesson on understanding somebody else and their situation and their needs and wants, whether it's somebody close to me, a partner or a friend or a team member, or whether it's just something that's happened that's, you know, it's just happened and it's teaching me something that I need to prepare for something to come. Or, you know, whether it be choosing your next loved one, or, you know, something might have happened and you think, oh no, I didn't want it to happen like that, and you know, you're then prepared for your next partner and what to look out for and signs, and, you know, it's just preparing yourself. So making sure you're talking to yourself mentally is key, and you're asking yourself the right questions. These type of questions will help you stop looking to understand what's actually happened, and helps you to look for ways to solve and move forward, so that you move forward efficiently. Number 7 is shift your focus to positive mode. Okay, so instead of dwelling on the losses and the things that have occurred, and all, you know, don't get too wrapped up in that. Think of what's good in your life. Think of what makes you happy. What are you blessed with? You know, those things will get you through the really, really tough times. If you're constantly keeping yourself in that negative headspace, you can't see positive anywhere, you know. And whether that be a positive person, attach yourself to that person. We all have that person that we sort of think, oh gosh, she's amazing, she's just so bubbly and so full of life, and every time I'm with her, I just like, she makes me feel like my cup is full. Be with that person more, you know. Don't keep yourself in this negative space. Get yourself in the positive space. That's really, really vital for moving out of that area. Number 8, have your pity party with pleasure. Have it. Have you scream, have you jiggle, dance, whatever, do it. But it is vital to have your pity party and mourn your losses, then move on. Don't stay there. Stay there for what? Some people say 10 minutes. A day latest, then move on. Like, wake up the next morning and think, right, it's gone. Done. That's it. And it's really, really, really important to be very, very, to be very, very conscious who you are inviting to your pity party, because those that you invite will be impacted hugely by this. So what I suggest is that you have an accountability partner, whether it be a sponsor, a close friend, a partner, but somebody who can deal with something and can quickly snap you out of it. Not somebody that's going to latch on and join that pity party and then share it with somebody else, and they're going to join in as well. And before you know it, you've got a whole environment around you that's full on in a pity party, and you're having a blast. Not. It's no good. It's no good. So get yourself a accountability partner and share that pity with them, and then get them in a place where they can say to you, right, we're done with that now. Let's move on. Let's go out. Let's celebrate, whatever. You know, don't drag people with you down unnecessarily. It's not fair. You know, be conscious that you're not putting things on the chats. You know, have that one-to-one with that one person, whether it be a phone call or a private text. Don't be blasting all what you've got going on the team chats, because there'll be people in that team chat that aren't equipped to deal with that kind of thing, and will get sucked into that and think, oh my gosh, and there, before you know it, are in a negative environment, a negative space, and it's no good for anybody. So just be really, really conscious with that. But by all means, have the pity party. Number 9, anchor yourself to your positive future. And this is really, really important as well. So yes, okay, you may have been set back off track, but what I would recommend is to set yourself some new goals. So think, okay, I'm off track. It's not happening. I'm not going to, you know, for me, I'm not going to reach that RBP by the time the baby's born. And I personally had to think, right, I'm not going to reach it by then. It's okay. It's fine. I'm not meant to reach it by then. You know, something's more important to me at the moment. And what is more important to me? Oh my gosh, this is my last baby. You know, I'm carrying a life inside of me that's causing me to be quite unwell at the moment, and focus on doing that. You know, at the end of the day, it's a life, and I've had to just think to myself, what is important? And this baby coming out safely, and me being the best of my health that I can be whilst all this is going on, was my main focus. And at the end of the day, my husband works away. I've got 3 other children to care for whilst feeling really poorly and ill, and you know, and I had to mentally get myself in that space where I could then just say, okay, so what I'll do is I'll start to work on myself in ways that I can do without being stressed. So I started to do positive affirmations, because that doesn't require much. Wake up in the morning and just say a few positive things to get my head in the right space. And then what I did, started to do my reading, because I'd completely come off my reading, because I'd just lost myself completely. And I was just like, to the point where if anyone talked about Arbonne or anything, or goals, or, you know, the calls at 9 o'clock or any time, I'd be just like, I can't handle it, can't handle it. Whereas I didn't want to feel like that, because I love what I do, and my passion is to help people, and that's the place where I'm the most happiest. So I had to remember that, but not get too focused on the fact that I can't do it right now, and just understand that this has happened for a reason. So if I'd have pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, I would have been in hospital. You know, my husband would have had to come out of work unpaid, and he would have been the only earner, and he wouldn't have been earning. My children would have been without me around, because I would be in hospital laid up, probably, you know, God knows what. So I had to really think about this and think about it logically, and think it's happened for a reason. If somebody's telling me, Natalie, slow down a little bit. What's the big rush? You know, you're in this journey for the long haul. It's not just till you get to RVP and then you can just disappear. You know, and I had to really think. And sometimes I think you need to step back, and sometimes as well. And my partner was a bit like, Natalie, calm down. And whereas I'd be like, normally I'd just be like, oh, whatever, shut up, I can manage, I can do it. I had to listen to him, because he cares for me. You know, he loves me and he cares for me, and what he was saying to me was because he loved me, not just because he was thinking, oh my gosh, you know, whatever. He was doing it for me, and I had to listen to those people around me that cared about me, and think, right, yeah, you're right, absolutely right. And, you know, focus on then thinking, okay, so when the baby's here, or I'm relating this to me, by the way, obviously I'm not expecting you all to be pregnant, but when the baby's here, I'll have some time out, focus on what I need to do, and I'll just pick myself back up, because I won't be in the place that I was initially, because I will have started to do the little bits to work on myself and my confidence, which I have. Because I tell you now, if I hadn't, there's no way I would be doing this call, because I was not prepared to even do a live video, and that was something that I did daily without fail. So last but not least, only focus on what you can control. And this is again important to me. So sadly, curveballs make you feel like you're not in control, and that's how it makes you feel. And it can make you, it can be incredibly painful to deal with, especially if you like being in control and you like the fact that you can control what you do and when you do it. But sometimes things don't materialize despite how much effort you're putting into it. And again, it's just about focusing on what you actually can control. Curveballs happen, it's happening for a reason, because it's your journey and it's been mapped out for you, and you just got to trust that it's happening for that reason, and you're going to be okay at the end of it. Just ride it out, and focus on the things that you can control. So be around those lovely people that make you feel wonderful. Surround yourself with inspirational people that, you know, I was on the call earlier and I was listening, and those people were filling me up, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, you're doing amazing. And I was really cheering people on from the heart, because I could see them how they were and how they are now. Being surrounded by that was helping me, even though I'm not physically doing anything, I'm just listening. So just make sure you're conscious on doing that, and doing all of the others above that I've spoke about as well. So that is now the end of my training. I hope it really has helped. Again, you might be sat there thinking, do you know what, it's not even going to happen to me. But just have this in mind for when it does, because it will. And like I said, whether it's in life, something small, something big, you know, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it is life. It's a factor of life. Curveballs happen, and you know, just you're not the only one. We all go through it at some point in our life, and I think it's really vital that we remember that. But God bless you all. Love you all to pieces. And you know, I've had so many messages as well saying, oh, you know, are you okay? Where have you been? Is everything all right? And I'm absolutely fine. And I have come to the terms that I'm just enjoying this pregnancy. And, you know, I will be back, and I will be back I'll be bigger and better than ever, because I've realised that it's had to happen. And I've totally accepted it, and I'm so chilled with it now that I don't beat myself up about it. And I'm dealing with the situations that were occurring in the initial stage that really got me to that low point. and working on myself and being surrounded by all you amazing guys. I love you dearly, and you're just like one big family to me. Thank you so much, and thank you for your support as well. So I hope you all have a fantastic evening, and yeah, love you lots. Bye.